Hi, May. So, did you get our wedding invitation in the mail yet? I have no clue where you live right now. I know you moved a few years ago, but you never told me your new address. I figured you'd probably set up a redirect thingy, so I just sent it to your old address. I figured you'd probably get it eventually. So, yeah. Did you get it yet?
Yeah, I got it. Seriously, though, why did you even bother sending it?
Well, duh! It's because I want you to come to my wedding. Why else would I send you an invitation?
Are you out of your mind, Erica? After everything you've done to me? You started hitting on my husband the day we got married, slept with him a few weeks later, and kept up an affair with him until I found out about it. I have zero interest in going to the wedding of my cheating husband and treacherous sister. You wasted your money on the postage stamp, Erica.
Aw, but you have to come. You have a huge role to play in the ceremony. You need to be there to watch the very moment Taylor and I share our vows. There's no way I'm gonna let you miss that.
So my role is to suffer humiliation at your hands, is it?
Don't worry about what your role is. Just make sure you come to the wedding, got it? Oh, maybe this little tidbit of information will change your mind. Taylor spent $100,000 on the wedding for me.
Seriously?
It must be a shock, I know. After all, he only spent $20,000 on your wedding. Compare those two numbers, May. Which one's bigger? Do you see now? He loves me way more than he ever loved you.
You really are clueless. I told him explicitly that I didn't want a fancy wedding. I just wanted a simple one where we could fully enjoy our time with friends and family. I actually talked him down to $20,000.
Yeah, right. You're just jealous I'm getting a better wedding than you. So, like I said, your attendance at the wedding is mandatory. There's no way I'm gonna miss the jealous look on your face when I walk down the aisle. And just so you know, even if you RSVP that you're not coming, we're preparing a seat for you anyway. Oh, I almost forgot. Since we're spending $100,000 on the wedding, the minimum gift amount is set at $5,000. So make sure you bring at least that. Got it?
Were you paying attention at all to this conversation? I said I'm not coming.
Were you paying attention? Your attendance is mandatory. I'm also hiring a special photographer to follow you around to make sure I get some good shots of your humiliation.
Hi there, May. This is Taylor's sister, Sarah. Sorry to contact you out of the blue like this. I know it's been a while. Hi, Sarah. Don't worry about it. I'm glad to hear from you. Wow, but it really has been a while, huh? What's it been? About 7 months since, well, you know. Yeah, I really can't tell you enough how sorry I am for what a total jerk my brother was to you. You deserved way better than that. Don't worry about it. It's nothing for you to apologize over. Besides, my harlot of a sister is just as much to blame as Taylor. She's the one that came on to him first. Yeah, you're right. I still feel bad, though. By the way, have you gotten anything in the mail from them recently? Are you talking about the invitation to their wedding? Yeah. If you don't mind, could I ask whether you're planning to be there or not? Nah, I'm not going anywhere near that wedding. But Erica told me the other day that my attendance was mandatory and that she'd be preparing a seat for me whether I'm coming or not, so... I had a good feeling that's what you were going to say. I know this is an incredibly selfish thing to say, and I feel terrible for asking you to do this, but could you please come to the wedding? You want me to come? Why? It's not something that I can talk about just yet, but let me just say that there's something that I think you really ought to see. And don't worry about Taylor and Erica. I'll have a bodyguard on hand to keep them from getting anywhere near you. Wait, so does that mean that you're going to the wedding too? That's a surprise. I was under the impression that you had a falling out with your family. since you ended up taking my side during me and Taylor's divorce. Well, I wasn't going to at first, but my dad was firm in saying that the whole family was going to be there for Taylor's wedding. And I decided that as long as I'm being forced to attend, I may as well use the circumstances to my advantage. Okay, so what's this thing that you want me to see then? You're talking about it kind of cryptically. I know, you must think I'm acting pretty weird right now. But I promise you that I'll tell you about everything before the day of the wedding. Can you trust me? All right, Sarah, I trust you. I'll let Erica know that I'm coming to the wedding. Thank you so much, May. I promise you, you won't regret this.
Oh my God, you're actually coming? I don't believe it.
Weren't you the one who told me my attendance was, quote, mandatory? Besides, I'm only here out of familial duty. After this, I'm never talking to you again.
Whatever. I don't care as long as you're here. I've been waiting so long to see how jealous you are when you see how much better my wedding is than yours was.
Well, lucky you. By the way, as long as I have your attention, mind if I ask you something?
Make it quick. I gotta get ready.
Why did you steal Taylor away from me? I mean, I know that you've always had this dream of marrying a rich guy who'll take care of you, and sure, Taylor did inherit his family's company and is doing pretty well professionally, but he was my husband. Why would you do something like stealing the husband of your own sister?
Oh, that? Isn't it obvious? I wasn't gonna let you land yourself a rich guy before me. You had no right to do that, May.
What?
You remember what Mom and Dad said, don't you? They couldn't believe that you got married before me, even though I'm the cuter daughter. Even Taylor's parents think I'm a better match. You're in your 30s, I'm in my 20s. So I have a way better chance of giving them a grandchild to take over the family company than you. Got that? Taylor thinks I'm better than you. Our parents think I'm better than you. Taylor's parents think I'm better than you. He's mine. I win, you lose.
You're something else, Erica.
Yeah, I know. May, I'm so excited for you to come. Just wait until you see the custom-made Italian wedding dress, the diamond-studded platinum tiara, the caviar appetizers before the grade A5 Wagyu beef main course, the imported French wine. This wedding is filled to the brim with Taylor's love for me, more love than he ever gave you. I wonder how long it'll take until you cry. Maybe 30 seconds, if it even takes that long.
I know it's none of my business, but do you really think an unemployed person will be able to pay for a $100K wedding?
Huh? Who's unemployed? What are you talking about, May? Do you mean me? So what if I'm unemployed? Taylor makes more than enough for me to live this sweet life at home all day. I mean, he's got a maid and everything, so I won't even have to do any cleaning. I'll just be living the life you thought you would be living. And with that, my time's up. I gotta go get ready for the ceremony. I hope you put on plenty of waterproof makeup.
Good morning, May. Are you on your way to the wedding yet? Good morning, Erica. I'm just about to leave my house. Okay, cool. So, about the special surprise we talked about, it's going to happen during the reception dinner. Once you've seen it through to the end, make sure you blend into the crowd when everyone starts leaving the room, okay? Yeah, I got it. Be careful with all the preparation on your end too, Sarah.
No way. This can't be happening. Taylor's not the company president anymore? But why? It was his father's company. He inherited it.
Ah, are you talking about the whistleblower report that Sarah made to the company's board of directors? Yeah, that was really crazy, wasn't it? I particularly liked the part at the end. We hereby find that the company president, Taylor Grift, has abused his position as president and used company funds in order to finance his own extravagant lifestyle, and as such will be hereby relieved of his position effective immediately.
How could Sarah file a whistleblower report against her own brother? Who does that?
Think about it. He wasn't just satisfied with reporting your dates as business expenses by pretending he was meeting with clients. He even tried to siphon off funds little by little from various departments in order to pay for your $100K wedding. She only did what any decent employee would do when they found out that their boss was stealing the company's money. He embezzled a massive amount of money, Erica. There's not a businessman out there who wouldn't get demoted or worse if they got found out doing that.
Wait a minute. I'll admit, I didn't know he was using company money to pay for our stuff until now. But he controls the company, doesn't he? He was just using his own company's money to pay for his wedding. How is that a bad thing?
Do you know how businesses work? Even the president can't just up and use the company's money however he wants.
He can't?
Have you ever even heard the word embezzlement before? What Taylor did was illegal.
It was?
Yeah, and once the police got involved, the company had no choice but to remove him as president.
But why did she have to do this at our wedding? This was supposed to be the best day of my life, and now it's ruined.
I think you have much, much bigger problems to be concerned with right now, Erica.
Why is this happening to me? My life is over. Hey, May, you there? Tell me what your address is, okay? As soon as possible.
Why?
I've decided that I'm going to divorce Taylor and move in with you. I'm not interested in some broke loser. I only wanted to marry Taylor because he was a rich businessman. I mean, embezzlement? That's a serious crime, right? I could never stay with a man with such loose morals. Think about the impact he'd have on our children.
It's really ironic to hear that coming from you, Erica.
Stop mocking me. This is serious. Taylor's parents said that they won't pay the $100K for the wedding for us, and we're gonna have to pay for it all by ourselves. And our parents all of a sudden moved away without telling me where they were moving to, and they won't answer my calls. You're the only person left I can count on, May.
Tell me, Erica, what made you think that I was going to help you?
Well, you're my older sister, aren't you? An older sister has to look out for her younger sister. We're family.
Yeah, that would normally be the way things worked in a normal relationship between sisters in a normal family. But you can't possibly be under the impression that we're in a normal situation, right?
Okay, so I stole Taylor from you, but now I'm divorcing him.
Good for you, I guess. But that has nothing to do with me anymore. I'm not helping you.
But why not? Your own little sister is about to be thrown out onto the street. Don't you care about that at all?
Nope, not in the slightest.
Really?
This is going to be the last time I say this to you, so listen up. I have not forgiven you for what you did to me. I do not care one single tiny bit about what happens to you now.
May, please!
Even if you tracked down my new address and broke down crying on my doorstep and begging for help, I would give you none. In fact, if you ever come anywhere near my house, I'm calling the police.
You can't do this to me!
I can, and I will. Goodbye, forever. Hi there, May. How have you been? Sarah, it's great to hear from you. I'm doing great, thanks. I'm glad you messaged me. I haven't heard from you since the wedding and wondered what's happened in the meantime. I'm glad to hear you're doing all right. I'm doing pretty well myself. I'm actually in the UK right now.
The UK? Really?
Wow, this is just a guess, but did you do that in order to escape from your disaster of a family? Well, yeah, that was one of my major goals when I made the move. But I've been dating a guy who's a UK citizen for quite some time now. We got married a few months ago, so we decided to move here together. After the wedding, I sent a letter to all of my family telling them exactly why they're never going to see me or any of our children ever again. Packed up my things and left the country. Wow, that's awesome. I'm really happy for you. Thanks, May. How about you? How did things turn out for you after that? Just fine, thanks. No problems at all. I was worried that Taylor or Erica might try and find me for a little while, but from what I hear, they have bigger problems to worry about than me. Man, I sure would like to visit the UK. I bet it's fantastic over there. You interested in coming over? Well, yeah, who wouldn't be? But my company is thinking about having me sent to one of their branches over in Japan within the next year or so. They said that it would be a big promotion for me and would come with a commensurate pay raise, but it also sounds like once I commit to it, I'm gonna be stuck over there for at least the next 20 years. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about that recently. Still not sure what I'm gonna do. Now that I hear you talking about your overseas adventures, though, I don't know, maybe it won't be so bad. Well, I'm kind of on the opposite side of the world, but if there's anything you want to ask me about moving overseas, let me know, and I'll help however I can. Thanks, Sarah. You'll be the first person I ask. After a lot of thought and discussions with my company, I decided to accept their offer. I'm moving to Japan! Meanwhile, things aren't going so well for my sister. Taylor and his parents wouldn't consent to the divorce, so she's now stuck with working her butt off in order to pay the money Taylor stole from the company along with him. She's never had a job before in her life, so she's now stuck working awful shifts at a convenience store downtown. At this rate, they might have it paid back by the time they're 65. And don't worry about my parents. Karma came for them in the end, too. Turns out they received some of the money Taylor stole from his company, and they ran away to try and escape the bill that was about to come due. But they ended up getting in a huge car wreck on the way to their new house, leaving them both with permanent injuries. So now, my darling younger sister not only has to pay back the debt her husband owes while he's in prison, but also has to make enough in order to provide full-time help for my parents. Since there's no way I'm going to give them a cent. So, honestly, I'm actually kind of glad that she took that scumbag Taylor off my hands for me. If she hadn't, then right now, I would be the one dealing with all of that. I really dodged a bullet, didn't I?
Hey, Derek. How you feeling? I heard the surgery went okay. Everything okay?
Yeah. Hey, Miranda. Yeah. I just woke up about 2 hours ago. The doctor explained everything a while ago. Now I'm just sitting bored out of my wits.
Sorry I wasn't there to be by your side. Must have felt a little neglected. I was a bit busy, and besides, I just couldn't walk into a hospital under the circumstances.
Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
So, what happened? How's it going to go from here? I called the doctor, but he wouldn't tell me a thing. Will you be able to walk okay after a little bit of therapy?
Yeah, about that. There was some explanation before the surgery. Apparently, the leg is irreparable. He said I would probably be wheelchair-bound for the rest of my life.
No way. That can't be right.
The doctor said all my nerves and stuff are shot. No chance of them working again. I remember the front seat of the car. It was flat as a pancake. You know what? I was ready for it. I mean, emotionally, I kind of knew I would never walk again. But gotta be honest, reality hurts.
So, what happens now? How are you going to live?
Well, not like I used to, for sure. Gotta change my ways, I guess. Probably I have to fix up the house. Need to make it barrier-free. Ramps, handles, that kind of stuff. Probably have to do major work on the bathroom and shower stall, too. Probably won't be able to drive a car anymore. I was in sales, so probably won't be able to continue working. Not this job, at least. Hopefully the company will keep me on in one shape or another. so I don't think I have to worry about losing my job. But all that experience I gained, it won't be any good to me anymore. The doc will probably explain everything to you about living at home and all. I hate to say this, but this may be hard on you going forward, Miranda.
I'm sorry. I can't do this. Yeah, this is not me. I can't do this.
Excuse me?
I said I can't. I could never do that. I mean, nursing stuff? Taking care of handicapped people? I'm sorry. I don't want to say this, but I can't. I want a divorce.
Wait a sec. Excuse me? Divorce? Are you serious?
That's the only option. I just can't do this. I can't nurse a handicapped guy. I'm sorry. Do you think I could change your bedpan? We're the same age. Oh, no way I could do that. Sorry. Oh, and to think I would have to do it for the rest of my life? For years? No, never. This is not happening. Ugh, just thinking about it makes me sick.
Am I hearing you correctly? What the hell do you mean?
And about your job, can you really continue in the condition? They may keep you on for a while, but you never know. They may fire you after a while. What are you going to do then? Just live off your folks? And you really think you can find a new job? Like that? Do you realize how much it would cost for your therapy? And renovating the house alone will cost a fortune. No way I'm giving up my life. No, future. Just being poor. I'm still young, for crying out loud.
Come on, Miranda. Calm down, would you? I can certainly understand you panicking about this whole thing, but why do you have to be so negative about it all? I'm the victim here. I shouldn't be the one that's depressed.
Anyway, I have no intention of babysitting you forever. I'm going to fill out the divorce papers, so I'll leave it on the kitchen table. When you get home, sign it and submit it ASAP, okay? I won't be there. Don't come looking for me either.
Hold it a second, Miranda! You can't just decide to get divorced, just like that!
I've already made up my mind, so please, let's just get this over with. And get your folks or friends or whatever to get you home, would you? I can't do it. That's it for me. Goodbye. Hey, Derek! I said hi to you today. Why'd you ignore me? I went out of my way to say hello to you, for Pete's sake.
Oh, was that you, Miranda? I had no idea it was you. You've changed.
Yeah, well, I recognized you right away. I spotted this little guy sitting there with a bunch of other businessmen in suits. I took a closer look, and there you were, sitting in your wheelchair. Well, it's been 3 years. Have you gotten used to moving around in your wheelchair?
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at it. Don't need much help to get around, which is great. How about you, Miranda? You look, your clothes and makeup, sort of flashier than I remember, and your tummy looked kind of big. Did you get remarried?
No, we're not married yet, but we've been living together for the past year or so. We plan to officially tie the knot after the baby is born.
Yeah? Well, congratulations.
I'm really happy now. Nice guy, baby on the way. Oh, boy, did I make the right decision. I can't imagine what my life would be like if I hadn't divorced you. Being in that wheelchair and all, I bet you're doing some sort of filing work, right? To be honest, you look totally out of place among those businessmen. In contrast to you, my guy, you know how much he makes? He's got an annual salary of over $1 million. You would never measure up to him.
What the hell is this? Did you contact me just to treat me with contempt? If that's the case, goodbye.
Come on, Derek. Just kidding around. I wouldn't do that. I just wanted to share some of our joy and happiness with you, that's all. You wouldn't believe my future husband. He's a real catch. He works at Conrad Industries. I'm sure you've heard of the...
You mean Conrad Corporation?
Yeah, you know, that huge multinational corporation. Anybody working in business knows this company. It's a huge company. You know, if you're looking for work, I could ask my guy. I'm sure he'll find something for you. Oh, he could probably get you a job doing some kind of desk work. It's a big company. I'm sure there's something for you. I mean, truth be told, they have to hire certain types of people. You know what I mean? Just ask for Andrew Sutton at the HR department at Conrad Corporation. They might find you something. You never know. You may be of use to them. You know, image-wise.
Hold on a second. Did you say Andrew Sutton? Is he your boyfriend? This Andrew Sutton?
What? Do you know him or something? Oh, I can't believe this. I didn't realize he was so famous around here.
Yeah, he's one of our lower-ranking employees.
Uh-huh. Excuse me? What do you mean by that? Lower-ranking employee?
You said his name was Andrew, right? Sutton? Yeah, I know him. Pretty well, as a matter of fact. He just got recruited and is currently working under me at my company.
Wait. What? What are you talking about? What is this about your company?
Yeah, it's a long story, but you know my last job? There was no place for me there, so I quit. After that, I joined my uncle's company. My uncle's single, so he was looking for someone to take over the company. To make a long story short, he heard I quit and asked me to take over for him as president of the company. That company is, well, Conrad Corporation.
No way. You're making all this up to get back at me, aren't you? What? Are you telling me you're the CEO of Conrad Corporation?
Yeah, well, it's only been a couple of years, and I'm still learning the ropes. Oh yeah, this guy, Andrew Sutton, I know him well. We just recruited him this year. But I hate to say this, but I really don't hear anything positive about his performance so far. On the first day of work, he arrived 3 hours late. He would say he was going out to meet with a client, but actually, he was at some club having fun with some girls. Obviously, with an attitude like that, well, work performance suffers and, how should I put this, gets pretty crappy. I really don't understand why HR even hired the guy. Well, he hasn't been here long, still in the trial period. Probably end with that.
Wait a second. Let me get this straight. You said he got recruited this year, right? He said he's been at the company for like 10 years. He said everyone looks up to him, that he's really busy with clients, getting new clients all the time. One of your top salespeople. He said he's in line to become vice president. He wears really nice clothes, and I mean that Rolex.
Oh my god, you fell for that? That's all BS. And him making $1 million a year? Come on, Miranda. You know that's a bunch of horse crap. He's only been receiving an average salary for about 3 months now. You really think a guy who only started working a few months ago would be making $1 million a year? That's just downright crazy.
But that's what he told me. He was, like, dressed and...
I'm sure he uses that trick on every woman he sees. Anybody can dress up nicely and wear a Rolex. Sure it wasn't a Swatch? As a matter of fact, I saw him the other day. That suit and that leather briefcase he carries around, those were obvious Chinese knockoffs. He seems pretty proud of them, though, showing them off to the office girls. But they were all laughing behind his back.
No way. This is not happening. Was I conned by this guy? I have this child. What am I going to do?
Oh, that reminds me. About your folks. Now that you're back, really wish you would pay them back. Your folks still seem to be having a hard time, you know?
Huh? What are you talking about? What about my parents? Pay them back for what?
The settlement for that crash you caused, and the money for the divorce. Nobody could get in touch with you after you signed those divorce papers and disappeared. You just withdrew all the money from your account, some of which your folks saved for you, and took off on some trip to God knows where. You were just gone. Nobody knew where you were. So, your parents paid for everything. The settlement for the accident, and compensation for the divorce, which you initiated.
Excuse me? Wait, what? Why the hell did you go and do that?
Go and do what? It's my right. You had no job. How could you even pay? All I did was have them pay me on your behalf. Your parents were very apologetic. They were grief-stricken by the whole thing and paid up in full. The total came to $1.5 million.
Excuse me? 1.5. What? Are you nuts?
Yeah. Rehabilitation and therapy, renovating the house, the settlement. They put their home up for sale and any other assets they had. They even dipped into their retirement savings to pay it all off. I heard they're living in a small apartment downtown. Apparently, they're both working to pay off your debt. They said they had no choice but to try and save enough for retirement.
How could you? How could you do that to my parents? Ugh, I can't believe this!
Well, it's because you ran away. You dumped me, you put me in this wheelchair, you refused to nurse me back to health, and just took off. That's why. Do you really think that I wanted that? I wanted to stay married to you. I thought you would have a little remorse. I was a little reluctant to have them pay, but they were adamant about paying. They said they would make you pay them back when you returned home. They said they already sold the house and all the assets they had. I was in trouble too, as you can imagine. I couldn't walk. I needed rehabilitation. It's not cheap, you know. So they offered the settlement, and I took it. It's all your fault that your folks are suffering. Think long and hard about that.
But I was only...
Your folks were in tears. They were furious that you took off. Leaving the whole mess to them, they apologized profusely for what their daughter did. I really felt sorry for them. You really should go and see them. You simply disappeared without even apologizing. You better see them and start paying them back. I hate seeing them like that. It breaks my heart.
How am I supposed to pay that back? It's not something I can pay back in a few months. Besides, I'm broke. I don't have that kind of money.
Well, you said you're going to marry Andy. I can call him Andy, right? Have him pay for it. He makes $1 million annually, right? You could pay it back in like 4 or 5 years, right?
That's impossible! Are you crazy? Besides, all he said was total BS. How can I marry a lying schmuck like that?
But if you don't marry him, what are you going to do with the kid? By the looks of it, you don't have long.
What the hell am I going to do? Hey, Derek. Could you... you haven't remarried or anything yet, right? You know, maybe we can... What I mean is...
Come on, Miranda. Don't tell me you want you and me to be, like, married again. I hope you're not saying that. Sorry to say this, but I have no intention of getting back together with someone who betrayed me. And I really don't want to bring up some other guy's kid. Especially this guy.
Please. I apologize for what I did. I'll do anything, so please, think it over. I'll take care of you, Derek. I'll be your nurse. Please?
No thanks. I really don't need your condolences. As for nursing, I have a professional assistant doing that. So yeah, no thanks. It's not me you should be apologizing to, it's your parents. The divorce has already gone through, and the accident settlement is over with. I have nothing to do with you anymore. We're complete strangers. You guys figure the rest out, and good luck with that.
Please, Derek, wait.
I want nothing to do with you, so don't ever contact me with your BS again. I better go. I have work tomorrow. Good night. I heard later that she really laid into Andy after that. He confessed that all he said was one big lie, that he made the whole thing up. And the nice, spacious apartment they were living at? It turned out it wasn't his, just a monthly rental. Apparently, they argued all night, and after they both fell asleep, he escaped and disappeared. It seems he took all the cash they had and terminated the lease on the apartment. Miranda was left dumbstruck, not knowing what hit her. She had nowhere else to go but to her parents' tiny apartment. After she had the baby, she started working various part-time jobs in order to pay her folks back and to bring up her child. As for Andy, he kept taking time off without permission and eventually got fired. Miranda's child was eventually adopted by a relative and seems to be growing up just fine. If only she had ignored me when we met that time. Maybe she would have enjoyed herself a little longer. You never know. Maybe things would have worked out for her? She had to go out of her way to chide me, which led to her demise. Well, I hope she comes to her senses and lives a respectable life. Maybe she'll get her kid back someday. Me, you ask? Well, I still have a lot to learn. Running a huge company is no easy task. But my uncle has given me the stamp of approval, so I don't plan to let him down anytime soon.